Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And Gen Z ruins everything. Well, not actually. We're going to talk about this because Gen Z has become the media's favorite punching bag.
Yeah, and we're parents of Gen Z kids. So, I don't think Gen Z kids are as bad as the media keeps making them out to be. And I do agree with them on some things. I disagree with them on others, but...
Well, it's just like anybody, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
And you always take a generation or a group of people, any group of people, whether it's a generation or a race or a gender or whatever, and people make broad assumptions about them. So you've always got people that are exceptions to the rule, but it has become a buzzword. It definitely has become a buzzword. Like if you look for news on Gen Z, you're going to find all kinds of articles. Now the whole thing is the Gen Z stare, which we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Gen Z ruining Hollywood, that Hollywood needs to be concerned about Gen Z because they're not watching your crap.
And Gen Z wants to bring back the 80s, which I do not disagree with them on.
We're going to talk about that too, because I just did a paywalled video today talking about Neo Cities, which is like the new Geo Cities, and it's like 1997. It's like a time capsule of the old internet, and it's mostly Gen Z kids, Gen Alpha kids that are hand coding sites like we used to.
Oh, you go kids!
Yeah. And it's actually pretty damn cool. So we'll talk.
Millennials.
There you go. I think you're right. I think we talked about before we started recording that you think it's millennials at the media or in the media that are actually going after Gen Z the hardest.
I think so. Gen X, we don't care enough usually. to piss on them. A lot of the kids that are Gen Z are, our kids, some millennials kids, but All
right. So let's talk about this. We'll talk about the Gen Z stare first. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo.
If you can't get enough of us, go out to news.clownfishtv.com for more paywalled content, more podcasts, more news. Actually, I have a new episode of Clownfish Minus coming today where I talk more about the Neo Cities and the old internet and how things used to be and how cool I think it is that kids today want to go back to the old internet. Mm-hmm. Back then, we used to surf the web, and now the web surfs us.
Yeah, pretty much.
A little bit different. But yeah, you look for Gen Z news, and it's all like 70% of Gen Z are turning to social media for job advice, not HR, not career counselors. The Gen Z stare. Hollywood's not alarmed enough about Gen Z. And a warning sign for Hollywood, young consumers are choosing creator content over premium TV.
They've been.
Social media influencers are more popular.
Yeah.
Gen Z relies on social media instead of doctors. And then you've also got the articles we've done before. Gen Z doesn't want to work. Gen Z doesn't want to do this.
Meanwhile, Gen Z's making way more money. It was,
I thought it was interesting. We were actually looking for news on Gen Z, and this came up on X that Gen Z are overemployed. There are some Gen Z that are making almost $1 million a year, holding down 5 full-time jobs, which I don't think that's.
I don't know how you do that. When do you sleep, sweetie?
Well, they're using AI to consolidate tasks and stuff too.
Okay, because I was concerned as a mom. I'm like, honey, don't do that. Don't kill yourself. Okay,
they're like,
right.
Yeah, they're like, it's totally legal. I guess is, if you've got benchmarks, but I think most employers, if they're paying you to work for them full time, they expect you to work for them full time. I'm just saying.
It's okay until you get caught. As long as you're doing your job and you're doing it well, who cares? As long as you don't get caught.
Right.
My kids say anything's legal as long as you don't get caught.
Anything's legal as long as you don't get caught. Yeah.
No, that's not good advice. Don't listen to that. Anyway,
I had somebody I used to work with who would have been Gen X that actually was supposed to be an editor at one of our newspapers, but she was phoning it in literally. She worked a full-time job someplace else, and then she was supposedly working as our full-time editor.
She was making you do her job, and then she'd get the money for it, and you didn't get paid squat. Yeah.
Yep. She got paid twice what I got paid, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
And she didn't even do her damn job.
No.
So yeah, but poor Gen Zs, they get a lot of shit. Sometimes deserved, but a lot of times it's not. And like I said, we're parents of Gen Z kids. Our kids are pretty cool. I think that, maybe our kids are the exception. I don't know. I mean, from my stories I hear from our kids when they try to engage with other kids or other people in Gen Z, that, they're all kids to me, that, some of it's true, like the stare, the lack of communication, I've never personally seen it. My kids know all about it. They've seen it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this a little bit because I do have some hope, and again, in doing that other other episode, I was thinking about, like, Gen Z and Gen Alpha want to go back to the way things used to be. They want to go back. A lot of them want to go back to have a more human connection. I think they're looking to hang out with friends in real life. They're looking to go to the mall. They like books. They like physical books. Like our kids love books and records.
They do.
Like it's freaking 1977.
Bought a bunch on clearance the other day.
Yeah, that they're all about physical media.
And then our daughter, she has CDs. Now she's go back to CDs and cassettes. The only thing they don't have is 8-tracks at this point.
Yeah, nobody wants to bring those back. No. People collect them though, but no, it's weird because I think there's a pendulum swing. I think that for the longest time it was all about the latest, greatest technology, and now people are like, wait, can't we go back? And maybe the pandemic had something to do with it.
Well, I think like in gaming is concerned, there's a retro game demand, but I think it's partly the pandemic. I think it's partly because of AI. I think it's partly because of the greed of corporations now.
Yeah, that's a big one.
They don't make stuff like they used to, and even in the 80s they didn't make stuff like they used to. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's become more obvious. I think I don't think we knew.
There was more fun and connect. Stranger Things, that's a big part of it.
Stranger Things, but I think they're starting to see like, hey, yeah, this wasn't so bad. And Gen Z, a lot of their parents are our age, or Gen X, older millennials, and I think they're looking at that. And we tell our kids stories, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, that's how things used to be. Like,
I'm seeing schools are doing days where they have the parents bring stuff in from the 80s and 90s to show the kids, and it's like a big thing. The kids are all excited about it because they get to see all this cool stuff that parents kept. And and how it worked. They actually do classes, like show them how the things worked. Someone needed to show the BBC how to put a Super Nintendo cartridge into a Super Nintendo system instead of NES.
I watched that clip, and the lady was she's showing the kids the NES, and she's blowing on the cartridge and the whole thing.
Yeah, she did. She totally did.
Like, okay, you guys have heard the stories. Here's how you blow on the cartridge. Ooh, ah.
I thought that was great. If I was still teaching at the schools, I would recommend that, especially elementary kids. They went nuts for it. Middle school kids too would be great.
I feel like Gen X, we were all excited about technology in the future, and then now that it's here, it's like, wow, this kind of sucks. It's not as good as we thought it was going to be.
80s though. Kind of the 80s, they did the Back to the Future movies because the people that were parents had nostalgia for the olden days.
Yeah.
To us. So I guess it makes sense. So like we're now the ones, but
we're old.
So
we're old.
Now this Gen Z stare. Okay,
let's talk about the Gen Z stare.
I've heard about this. I have never encountered it, but I've heard stories from the kids about it. Personally, if I got a Gen Z stare, I'd say meet my Gen X foot. But that's just me.
This comes from some site called She Knows. Oh my God, what does she know?
What does she know?
So raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by the Gen Z stare. Actually, maybe don't raise your hand because it's kind of cringe to admit this article's cringe. Kind of cringe to admit you've been given the stare. It's basically the same as getting called okay boomer.
Okay, this is a millennial who wrote this.
Obviously, almost all these articles.
Cringe, a boomer, yeah.
Yeah. The Gen Z
here,
stare.
Millennials had resting bitch face.
Resting bitch face.
See, this is a millennial.
Gen Z has the stare, which is basically a blank, awkward look that Gen Z gives to people who are being audacious, acting too much, or being downright ridiculous.
Wait. Gen X did that too.
We did. We were just like,
I have
no words.
We invented it. Well, it's like we did it first.
Well, they're our kids. Gen Z's our kids, right?
Well, that makes sense. They probably learned it from us.
They probably learned it from us. Like, they probably got from you, like, your kid's doing something really stupid, and you just look at them like, what the hell?
That's probably what happened. Oh, see, now I feel bad. Yeah, no, it probably came from us. Anyway.
According to Know Your Meme, I gotta see what this. Okay. According to Know Your Meme, the Gen Z stare is that uncomfortable blank look that teens give out. It's the way Sydney Sweeney stared at anyone in the first season of White Lotus. This expressionless stare is common in social situations or customer service situations in which an older customer is being rude, obnoxious, or unruly. Oh, I do that now.
I know. I mean, don't do it with customer service, but when you look at them like, what the hell is your problem? Yeah, no, I mean, we have more personality behind our stare than that, but yeah. It's our face spoke for us in Gen X days.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my God.
The earliest my face to say that out loud. I'm sorry.
But it's like trending this week, which means it's probably been around for months or years, and it took this long for the media to catch on.
Yeah,
and now
it's
not cool.
Thing.
Now it's not cool. They said the earliest post they could find about the Gen Z stare was a video from TikToker Megan Alessi posted in July of last year. Yeah, she's seen a car telling the viewer, I swear every time I'm in public, it's a Gen Z worker, they just stare at you.
I honestly have never come across that, but other than the we used to do it to people, but we had more personality.
This X post says from Lauren Wilford says, in general, Gen Z culture doesn't have a norm for greeting, acknowledging people they don't already know. Their custom is headphones, eyes down until engagement is required. It's a don't speak unless spoken to culture. This, of course, feels dehumanizing to anyone older. This is like they're talking about these kids like they're aliens.
Yeah, but
like according to their culture, you look at your phone until you're spoken to.
I know, but our kids do that. Yeah, actually, no offense, my kids listen to this, but they're not gonna. When they work for us and stuff, sometimes they're engaged, but a lot of times they like try to look at their phone and then not answer people until they have to. Which they've gotten better about that, by the way.
So Zoomers are pushing back against it. They said that millennial, Gen X, and baby boomer customers are demanding, and that's why they get the stare because they probably don't know what to say, because if they say the wrong thing, they're going to get fired.
Well, not just that. It's like conflict. Ooh, I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, I think that's
social engagement. I don't know how to deal with that.
Somebody says the Gen Z stare is something we do because we're smart and you're stupid.
We used
to call it giving you enough rope to hang yourself with, but I guess you can't say that now. You basically just let people just run at the mouth until they just say something incredibly stupid, and you're like, yeah, I don't have to say anything. You're done.
I get if you have a pushy asshole customer, you're just sitting there staring at them like, just shut the hell up. I get it. I do. But, that doesn't make you smarter. I'm sorry. You just like an asshole. But they look like an asshole too, so I understand.
It is weird because I do think some of it is social awkwardness, because I've tried engaging with, and I haven't been demanding or rude or whatever. I mean, I can be, but not to these, like, I don't even know these kids. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? They just act kind of like, hey, like when you go to an adult friend's house and their kids are there and you haven't been introduced to the kids yet, so they don't know how to react to you. Like, oh, here's another adult in the house. That's how it feels. Kind of like, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk to you or not. I don't know if you're friendly or not. I don't know if you're a friend. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the vibe I get sometimes.
Well, I know even to each other though, because I know like Squicking was telling us about college, and he would try to engage with people around him and they would just stare at him like this, like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
How dare you talk to me? And then, we've mentioned that before in videos. It is a mixed bag. Our kids are actually cool, so that's fine. But I have seen them do the whole look at their phone thing.
Yeah. So we got the Atlantic going on here, the not so woke Gen Z. So they're saying that in November of last year, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
After the election. And then now it's the myth of the Gen Z red wave just a couple of weeks ago.
Just like, you know what? Gen Z's going to Gen Z. Let's just admit you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're just trying to use them in whatever way you can to try to prove your argument. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and say it like it is.
But yeah, it just goes on and on. I mean, it's just interesting to see, like, the opinions on Gen Z vary depending on the day, the outlet, and it has become a buzzword. I think we have a lot of people trying to figure out them kids, and before that was millennials. Millennial this,
What's
millennial
what I'm saying?
that.
Millennials are probably just mad the attention's not on them. Us Gen X are used to it. Everybody forgets we exist. But,
they used to shit on us all the time. I remember it was all like, your Gen X are watching their MTV and
early or the older millennials, when they were starting out. But it's just, our generation's gonna shit on the next one apparently. But
such is the circle of life.
A circle, yeah. You have to you have to take your dues, I guess. But I
part of growing up.
I think, to be fair, if we're being fair here, I mean, while there's some valid points, I think the media, since it's mostly millennials, are really, really, really shitting on Gen Z unfairly. And I think sometimes, like, when they were like wanting a work-life balance, hey, I get it. I would love a work-life balance too, but that's not the reality. And then you have kids that are apparently doing 5 jobs. And then I just think Gen Z, if they're like our kids, I do have a little bit of hope, because I think they're going to they're just tired of your bullshit. They're like Gen X is tired of people's bullshit. And I think that they might actually snap out of it and hopefully move in a different direction, especially since they want to bring back, things like the old internet and 80s and malls and communication and stuff like that. And then you have the other side of, everybody, like older people mostly, wanting like AI sex bots on X and stuff like that. I'm hoping Gen Z is like, we have hope here. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think that there's a desire, and I mean, we're seeing it in our own kids to go back to
I'm on your
authenticity.
side on that one, guys. I'm
Yeah.
100% on your side for that.
And I said in the other video, and again, that one you can check out news.clownfishtv.com. I'm going to post it later today, but it does feel like we're going to have like two internets at some point. We're going to have like the more homespun internet, and then we're going to have this AI infused fever dream. And I think that's going to be just in general. We're going to have like corporate culture, and then we're going to have people, I think, that rebel against that, because that's the norm now. It's not punk to be into AI and corporatism. Now it's gonna be like, let's get away from that. I don't think you have to go like, be some ridiculous activist or whatever, but just be like, I'd like to own my book. I'd like to listen to the radio and just sit down, read a book, maybe watch an old TV show. A lot of Gen Z are watching older TV shows. Our daughter watches
Like,
old.
I want to turn
TV
off
shows.
the noise, and
That's what it is. It's noise. It's constant noise. It's like you're
right.
If they're staring, they're probably trying to process everything.
I get it. Honestly, for the reasons they're saying they're staring, I completely get it, because we used to do that too. But I also think that they think they're smarter, which is funny to me, because we all thought we were smarter when we were younger, and then we realized we weren't. But
you will learn in time, and then eventually
you will learn.
You will sound like your parents. Like I'm already.
I know. I never thought I would, but I do.
I'm sitting there like lately. I've been watching MeTV, which is just it's just reruns of old 50s 60s sitcoms and stuff. I'm like, God, is that the phase of life I'm in? I'm watching MeTV, waiting for the newspaper to come, thinking about mowing my lawn. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in life. And someday, guys, it will happen to you.
I'm just thinking about what next K-drama I'm going to watch. Well, we're going to need to wrap this up, because speaking of Gen Z, I got to take our daughter somewhere. So.
All right. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Check out news.clownfishtv.com. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.